Hello, fellow fools, and welcome to your timeless pick a pile reading. I am your host, Bren Bigelow. I use they, them pronouns, and I am so excited to be giving you this very magical psychic card reading experience today. Now, if you're new here, welcome, welcome. I'm so happy and privileged to have you here. The way that this works is that I'm going to start with a little overview of the astrology of what's going on right now during the time of this recording. It is a Virgo total lunar eclipse, that portal that we're in right now. And so I'm going to be giving a little insights onto that. But if you're not interested in that, don't you worry. We have timestamps that will help you scroll. After I go over the astrology, then we're going to do just like a collective reading together. And then from there, you'll be able to choose a pile, whether you'd like to be pile number 1 or pile number 2, and get more insights on what messages you need to hear at this time. So without further ado, let's start with the astrology of this lunar eclipse. Now, this is not our first Virgo lunar eclipse that we've been experiencing. I believe actually this is the final one of the cycle. So it's kind of a big deal, definitely a big deal, especially with just so much going on in the world right now. Eclipses are usually a time of great global change. It is karmic changes. It kind of helps us get back on the path of where we're supposed to be aligned with, where we're supposed to go. If we haven't been on the right path, sometimes it'll rearrange us to put us where we need to be. And, you know, eclipses can be times of great new beginnings, but also great big endings. Definitely also for a lunar eclipse. So some endings that might be occurring for you could be work related. Virgo is associated with work, you know, and not only that, but like your day-to-day routines. It can be pets, it can be a lot of different things, but there could just be a cycle of some kind ending for you right now that could be really important to pay attention to. And remember that every great ending can invite in a great new beginning. Another cool thing about eclipses is that it's a story that plays out through time. You know, I guess life is a story that plays out through time, but eclipses especially are these checkpoints that are for us to really pay attention to. Okay, this is a grand finale, or this is like a grand movement in the chapter. So if, you know, what comes up must come down. So if, you know, you are, you know, losing a job, for example, at this time, don't worry, because there is going to be another new beginning or chapter development within the storyline at some point. So keep that in mind. Just keep in mind that Virgo area of your chart. You know, where is Virgo in your birth chart? Even if you don't have any placements there, you're going to be impacted by this lunation in some kind of way. So this total lunar eclipse is happening at 12 degrees, 53 minutes of Virgo. So if you do have placements around that point, or in other mutable signs around that point, mutable signs being Pisces, Virgo, Gemini, and Sagittarius. So around that, 13 or 12 degree mark, you might feel this even more profoundly. And additionally, this lunar eclipse is ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication, travel, short-term travel mostly, and mental processing. And right now, at the time of this recording, Mercury is in Pisces, where it doesn't really like to be, because Pisces is this big, dreamy thinker. It's like the ocean, whereas Mercury likes to get into the details of things. And not only that, but Mercury is also retrograde. So that just means that we're in a review mode. We're going backwards. Maybe our mental processing isn't as fast as we would like it to be, or as usual, perhaps. But the great thing about Pisces Mercury that I actually have really been learning to love is how outside of the box it can be very imaginative and dreamy energy, and thinking about new creative possibilities for ourselves. So, you know, Virgo is the opposite. Virgo is very analytical, very detail oriented. Pisces being the opposite of the bigger picture, and the not even just the bigger picture of this lifetime, but maybe many lifetimes, or the universe at large, rather than just even the world. So just really finding that balance between honing in on the details where it's necessary, but also really zooming out and seeing how are the details building to the greater storylines that are playing out right now. So that's something to consider. We do have a lot of energy in Pisces right now too. That's kind of opposing the moon. So the moon is right here in Virgo alone. Well, I guess with the South Node there too. So not alone, but you know, doing its thing. As opposed to like all of the Pisces placements that are, you know, directly opposing and looking at it. So we are in a Pisces dominated energy at this point of this lunation. But again, the ruler of Virgo is in Pisces. So I do see us having some sort of understanding of what the Piscean lessons are being revealed to us right now and how to implement them in that Virgo area of life. Wherever that is in your chart for you. So the main advice that came to me for this lunation, and, you know, again, whenever you're listening to this, this is probably important for you to know as well, is number one is prioritize sacred rest. Rest is so important. It's Pisces season, and during Pisces season, we need to be making sure we get our sleep. It's the sleepiest sign. It's the dreamiest sign. And also it's allowing us to rest in preparation for the kickstart of spring that's coming during Aries season next. So it's not here yet. So we really need to be in our, like, I'm thinking of it like we're in the womb right now. We're still, you know, wanting, there is an urge to be born because there is some Aries energy already in the sky. But, you know, before we can truly be born, we really need to make sure that we're getting all of our nutrients in the womb and getting our rest and making sure that we are nesting and prepared. So when when Aries season kicks off in a few weeks and like gets us going and started and spring is here, at least in the Northern Hemisphere, we're going to be ready to take that on and not feel exhausted and underprepared because, we didn't get enough rest during Pisces season. So yes, if you needed permission, this is your permission to get all the rest you can. Don't overdo it at work. This is also a time of surrender. Eclipses are going to bring things to you and take things away from you. And if you fight it, it's just going to be wasting your energy. So keep that in mind. Definitely advocate for yourself if you need to. And use your emotions for, propelling yourself in the direction that you'd like to go. So if you're feeling angry, you know, let that fuel you for sure, but just make sure that what you're doing is also honoring the rest that you need in order to successfully and fully do your things in a fully thought out way, you know? So another piece of advice that came through is just don't believe everything you see and hear right now. You know, I feel like I say this a lot in these messages these days, but I think it's especially important for this lunation, especially with Mercury, our thoughts and processing in Pisces, the dream world. You know, it's like we're seeing things under the water. And so it's like not going to be as crisp and clear as it would be maybe above water. So just know that you might be being fed misinformation. Whether that's from the media or maybe from your job, maybe I don't know why work keeps coming up. Maybe this is a career kind of oriented reading for the collective today. But yeah, just know that not everyone is seeing clearly either. So even if it's not malicious, someone could tell you something or like how they feel even, and maybe it's not even completely accurate because they don't actually know how they feel because they're underneath the water right now. So just really try to review and take in information, process it, but don't take everything as fact because not everything is. And things are, you know, we're in a mutable full moon eclipse right now, and mutable signs, they go with the flow. They end up changing. They can go this or that way. So just know that things are still being molded right now. So don't, sink your teeth or your talons or whatever into a truth that might dissolve tomorrow. That was so poetic. I love Pisces Mercury. I really can't believe that I love it so much. I've been realizing because it's in detriment in that, or is it in fall? Anyway, it's, again, Mercury doesn't really love being in Pisces, but I'm finding the beauty in it. So without further ado, we're going to go into our collective reading. And I am doing this differently than usual today. I'm feeling that Piscean creative energy, I suppose. So we're going to work with 3 different decks. We're going to work with the Oracle of Pluto, This is by Aubrey Houdshell and illustrated by Rose Ides. And this is a deck that I just got from my friend Lily. She gave it to me for my 30th birthday. That just happened a week ago today. So happy 30th to me. And I'm really excited to dive into this Oracle deck because it's just an amazing, it's all about shadow puppets and how we create shadows through our own bodies and things like that. And I just think that's such a playful yet deep way to explore the depths of Pluto, which is very transformational and can be very dark and deep. So I also know the person who made this deck, so that's just really cool. I'm just really excited to use that deck. The next deck that we're going to use is from the Angel Number Messages deck. This is by Yvonne Limonta, Scorpio Mystic Angel. I absolutely love this deck, and I haven't worked with it in a while, and it's long overdue. So we're going to be working with that deck as well. And last but not least, we have this Aquarian Tarot deck. I know it's not Aquarius season anymore, but I haven't had the chance, I don't think, to use this deck for a pick a card reading. So I just wanted to do that. So without further ado, where should we begin? I guess we'll start with the Oracle of Pluto. We're going to get one card from each deck. And the Oracle of Pluto card is the Swan. Yeah, that was the card that came up earlier. So that just makes perfect sense that it would come up as well. The Swan, excuse me. The Swan, and it's just really pretty. I really like how the hands are going both ways. There's like a hand going this way and a hand going this way. So, and hands symbolize our communication. A lot of us do communicate with our hands. So swans also symbolize purity. I'm thinking about the ugly duckling that actually then becomes a swan. I'm pretty sure that's the story. It's been a little while since I've reviewed that, but, whoa. And we've got two cards. No, that's too many. So maybe there's like a sense of overwhelm too. Like there's so many things that you want to do, maybe a lot of options that are going on, but, maybe like also narratives that people are putting things on you. I'm thinking of kind of like a parent that's like, oh, you need to be a doctor because that's what our family has always done. And that's how you're going to be successful, blah, blah, blah. And, but you really want something else because you're a swan. You're not a duckling like everyone else. So they're trying to put you in the duckling box, but you're truly a swan. But you haven't had the opportunity maybe to really express yourself as that beautiful swan in the ways that you'd like and desire. So this is your opportunity to just remember that like you might be the ugly duckling in front of everyone else, like in your community, in whatever pond that you're in, but you're still developing and you're turning into this beautiful swan. And because you've been aligned with the true purpose that you feel like you have, and being aligned and knowing that your destiny is going to be different from other people because you're a different breed. You're just different. Everyone's unique in their own way, but maybe you even more so than the average person, at least in some area of your life. And so now there's this time of bloom of like, wow, I'm really maturing and I'm seeing myself for this beautiful swan that I truly am, and all that hard work that I went through and all of the hardships that I had to go through to be where I am today. And just trusting yourself and who you were always meant to be, and that you were never meant to be in that box that other people put you in. And you were never meant to, follow other people's dreams. You were always meant to follow your own. Birds to me always symbolize some sort of freedom of some kind. And I'm seeing swans also, like there's a beauty element that's coming up, like feeling good about yourself, feeling beautiful. And as a trans person in America, like I definitely can relate to this feeling of being ugly. Like I'm not ugly at all, but feeling like weird or different because I like to have my mustache on and I like to dress the way I do and I like to hold myself in a certain way. And I just can feel often like ugly or misunderstood because of the way that I authentically feel the need to show up. And really claiming that like sense of I am beautiful even if other people don't think so, or if other people think I'm weird or whatever it is. The beauty comes from within, And one of the mantras I do, and I think I even did it this morning before I recorded this, which is I spray my face with rose water and I say, I am beautiful no matter what I look like. You know, even though sometimes I'll say it like this, like, I am beautiful no matter what I look like. And because of what I look like, because I am Venus first house. Like, I do love to be beautiful. I do love to feel beautiful. But again, like, even if I'm not feeling beautiful, I'm reminding myself, like, it really doesn't matter what I look like. At the end of the day, it really doesn't matter, because also I'm going to outgrow what I look like eventually if I have the privilege to get older, you know, like, I'm not going to look the same. I can't cling on to my youth, especially now that I'm 30, you know, I can't cling on to these things. It's a privilege to get older. And if my body's changing and my, you know, things are just going to change. So I might as well just really get secure with the freedom that comes from feeling beautiful from the inside. I feel beautiful because I live with integrity. I feel beautiful because I am doing my best. I feel beautiful because I am offering my gifts to the world in a way that feels authentic to me. So, you know, those are all very beautiful things, and beauty is what we can see with the eye, but also it's so much bigger than that. And that's something that we can't forget with this swan medicine, because again, it's all about the shadows. So, you know, it's not bad to be beautiful or to like focus on like wanting to enhance your physical beauty, but also just remember that, what does that really mean underneath the surface? Okay. So, wow. Beautiful swan energy. I love that. What number did we get? Ooh, we got number 8. I am successful. So that's the mantra of us all right now. I am successful. Just remember that, like, you, especially with this swan showing up, like, you've come a long way. I'm feeling like a sacred, beautiful climax of some kind during this time for all of us. So just remember that, yeah, we are successful. And just because we don't have all of the things that we want, you know, we're always going to probably want something more. That's just the nature of life. But, you know, being present in all that we've already accomplished right now, like, we've come a long way. So this card says, your talent for setting and reaching goals is like no other. You are self-sufficient and capable of achieving your ambitions. 8 representing the ebb and flow, the infinite loop of creation. And I do love number 8s, because what that's saying is, like, when you put 8 on its side, it's an infinity sign, infinite possibilities, the infinite loop of creation. So just know that as whatever climax is happening for us right now, just know that you can create something new now that you've elevated, now that something has shifted, now that something's changed, even if it's changed that maybe you didn't really want. I can think of a lot of things like that, actually, that are happening. Like, anyway, I'm not going to get into that. It's just going to make me sad and depressed. But, like, how can we use what's changing to propel us forward into the future that we desire, and propel us towards the work that we need to be doing in order to best not only serve ourselves, but the community, your immediate local community at large. And then from there, the ripple effect of how that's going to impact your country, your continent, and then the world at large. And maybe even the universe, because as above, so below. The more that we can be successful or find our own personal successes, the more that those successes can have ripple effects outwards. Beautiful. Last but not least, we've got the Hierophant reversed. And whenever I see the Hierophant reversed, this is all about breaking traditions. This is about being weird. I love that this reading is really encouraging us to be the weirdos that we are. Let us be weird in the best of ways, because as I'm seeing a lot of authenticity coming in, like, the more that we can be authentic. Sure, authentic. What is that? Maybe that's like authentic plus artistic, you know, how we can create the life we want. And we can, you know, the Hierophant often talks about tradition. And we can honor certain traditions, but some traditions are meant to be broken. We are here to evolve. We are here to change. That's the only constant in life. And so if we are resistant to breaking certain cycles or standing up for what we believe in or telling people that, hey, that mindset's not cool. I'm thinking of I was at a dinner with my family recently, and my older auntie was telling my younger cousin, who's like a teenager, like, and she's, you know, my younger cousin's very beautiful, and my aunt was like, oh, you need to she basically was implying that because my little cousin was so beautiful that she was going to be torturing all these men and to be careful or something like that, like, don't torture men, whatever. And I was taken aback because I remember her saying similar things to me when I was my little cousin's age. And so I spoke up and I was like, don't say that to her. Like, little cousin, you're fine how you are. You're not doing anything wrong just by literally being beautiful. Like, you can't even help that, you know? And just because you're beautiful or something doesn't mean automatically that you're going to be torturing men or being a player or a man eater or whatever. And also, like, I literally told her, I was like, stop sexualizing my little cousin. Like, I know, like, you're from a different time and things like that, but that's just not an appropriate way to talk to an adolescent person, especially one who's already, I'm sure, full of so many insecurities and like hormones and all these different changes. It's just not okay. And that was a way it was hard for me to challenge my elder, because I was also taught to respect your elders, basically no matter what. And I love my aunt. Like, she had no harm meant or anything, but also I think, like, sometimes we hear things and so we automatically just say things, like, because it's been passed down to us without thinking about it, when really that needs to be challenged. So this is the challenge card. I'm really seeing it as like, if you want to create that future that you're really wanting, and if you really want to stand powerful in this swan that you are and are still becoming, then you need to challenge those belief systems. And this doesn't have to be so directly to someone else. This could be to yourself too. Like, why do I feel like I need to wear makeup out every day? Like, even to the grocery store. Like, yeah, why? That's silly. Like, your sense of self-worth is not dependent on how you look. Wow, looks are coming up a lot right now. So I don't know how you're feeling about yourself, your self-worth, but that just really start challenging these beauty standards and being like, do I really want that, you know, to be so skinny that I look sick? Like, no, you need to be healthy and you need to feel good about yourself. So that is the message that I'm receiving. Those are the messages that I'm receiving for the collective at this point in time. Very, very powerful. I'm really excited to get into the other readings that we're going to do today. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to the two different piles that you can choose from for today's reading. And if you are drawn to both, you are welcome to listen to both readings for both piles. If you start listening to your pile and are like, oh, this doesn't really resonate with me, feel free to go to the other pile, or there's a bunch of other readings on my channel that you can also choose from if you're needing messages more aligned with you. The main and biggest thing is to just remember to trust your intuition. You know, this is for you, and this is a collective reading. So, you know, some things are going to make sense and some things aren't. Again, it's a collective energy. We're picking up a lot of different energies. So just remember, you are the ruler of your own mind and your own perceptions and all those things. So take what resonates, leave the rest, and you will be golden. All right, my friends. So you will be a pile number 1 if you choose this rock. It looks like a snowflake obsidian. It's not. I got it at a hot spring in, where is it? In Buena Vista, Colorado. It's called Mount Princeton. So I don't know what the crystal is called, but we're going to just say that it is a snowflake obsidian vibe. Okay, so that's going to be pile number 1 if you choose this crystal, rock, whatever. And then you'll be pile number 2 if you pick this smooth Lapiz Lazuli. It's so pretty. The sides, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but it's like specked with gold flakes. It's just so beautiful. So yes, pick your piles. And without further ado, we're going to start with pile number 1, your little Snowflake Obsidian look-alike. And it's really not Snowflake Obsidian at all, really, because usually Snowflake Obsidian is more dark, I feel, in color, with white specks, where this seems more like white in color with darker specks of coloring. But like I said in the pick a pile part, this crystal, or this mineral, I guess I should say, this rock, whatever, I did gather it for my birthday. I went to the hot springs with my family and friends for my birthday, and this was the rock that I chose to take home from that. And the reason why I wanted to choose it for today, specifically during this Virgo lunar eclipse, is because this is Earth, and Virgo is an Earth sign. So this is very firm. You can hold it, Earth. This is great. But it's also been molded by the water. You know, that's the Pisces energy, because we're in Pisces season. So this rock exists because of its collaboration with both water and earth. And it just is so nice and powerful. So the message that's coming through just right off the bat for you is maybe you want to take a bath. Maybe you really want to like be more mindful when you're interacting with water and being like, cool, my body is a physical, earthly element, and it's made also of mostly water. So how can I honor both my physical nature and my fluid, watery nature as well? So make sure you're staying hydrated, make sure that you're getting the right nutrients that you need. I haven't gone grocery shopping in way too long, and I have been not eating appropriately. And I noticed yesterday morning, I felt like I woke up and I was just like so exhausted, and I was like, what is up with me? I feel like worse than usual. And it's like, yeah, because you haven't been eating right. You've been eating scraps from your pantry instead of going and actually getting your greens and getting a good healthy meal. So I ended up doing that, and I felt a million times better. So self-care, boo. Self-care. Maybe you want to go to the hot springs too. If you have access to that, that would be ideal. That would be very ideal. And even if not, maybe you take a hot bath. If you don't have that, maybe you rinse your hands under some hot water. You know, I don't know why I like the heat personally, but it doesn't have to be hot if you don't prefer. Woo. Our good luck chicken wanted to talk to us so soon. All right. The first card we have is the unicorn. Oh my gosh. This is like the card of me in this deck. I've pulled this card. I've only used this deck like 3 or 4 times, and I've already pulled this card like twice when using it. So it means a lot to me. I like too that there's like dripping roses. They're not dripping, but that's just kind of what I'm feeling, like the flow of roses. And roses are so beautiful. I have some roses here as well from my friend Liz. Thank you, Liz, for the beautiful roses for my birthday. And yeah, the roses symbolize beauty. Obviously, we were talking about that in the collective reading earlier, but also they have thorns to protect themselves. I really that's what I respect so much about the roses, is that it's the most highest vibrational flower you can get. It symbolizes so many beautiful things, but also it can hurt you if you are not careful. If you do not respect the plant, you will get pricked. And I'm seeing this as you. You know, you are this beautiful unicorn. You are this beautiful, unique being. And you have your horn, you know? Like, if you need to use it, you will. But, you know, your beauty is also meant to be appreciated, and especially by you. The roses are also green, and green symbolizes the heart chakra. So I think this group is really being encouraged to just listen to your heart more, and really be authentically true to yourself. You don't need to be a certain kind of way because someone wants you to. And this is, I'm feeling that Hierophant energy again from the beginning, the collective reading, where it's like, don't be afraid to speak up. Don't be afraid to challenge the status quo, because people also see you in a way that's really majestic and powerful, and they respect you. So, you know, if you don't be passive when you have more power that you can use to benefit the greater good. And again, this could be a work thing. This could be even in parenting, if you're a parent and you know, you need to stand up for like how your kid's school system is going or something. Like, it's okay to challenge that. Like, your uniqueness is your strength. And if you don't use your strength, it's kind of like, what's the analogy that they're giving me? Like, you're this like ripped bodybuilder and I don't know. Why are you giving me? Yeah, you're a ripped bodybuilder, but like for whatever reason, you're not even gonna lift up a plate because you're just so lazy, or I don't know. This is silly. But maybe that'll resonate with someone. I don't know. But you know, Mercury Pisces retrograde as well. So thank you for giving me some grace. And speaking of just magical beings, Frank, the kitty cat, has just joined us. I don't know if she's in frame. I bet she's not, but she's on the table now, or on the table. Sure. She's on the bed now with us, adding her also mystical wisdom. And actually, Frank, you should come over here because she's like distracted. But I actually call her my beauty queen because she's like got this patterning that is like patchwork. And you would think that like something with so much like it looks weird in a way, like she's like orange in some places but then like white, and then also like pattern. She's like looking at me. Yes, I'm talking about you. And she looks like a Frankenstein cat, you know, a Franken cat, if you will. But like, she's my beauty queen because her weirdness is so beautiful to me. And like, she's just my beauty queen. So just remember that your uniqueness and the things that you think are weird or other people might think are weird can be like your biggest assets. So don't you forget that. I do see that as a physical thing, but I also see that as like a energy thing as well, like a personality trait as well. Hi, Mr. Frank. Thank you for joining us today. Oh, look what angel number we have here. It's 666. I am centered. And this card's kind of interesting because a lot of people often have negative connotations in association with 666. It's like the devil's number, whatever. But what we need to understand is that the devil lives within all of us, you know, and metaphorically, literally, I don't know, whatever you believe, but how I'm going to say it is this. And Frank is like really wanting to play right now. She loves my pens, my magic wands. That's what I call them. She's just so cute. But anyway, the devil lives in all of us. And so does the angel, though. You know, the devil is really just a fallen angel. So this is really about balancing our what's it called? Like our materialistic tendencies and desires with what's of true value. Because at the end of the day, like, we all are going to end up in the same place. We're all going to die. We can't take any of this stuff with us. All the things that we care about, like, it's got an end date, you know, it's got an expiration date. You can't take all of your golden tablets with you. You can't take your crystals with you. You can't even take your baby, you know, Frank with you. So, even though in spirit, I definitely will. Yes, we'll be united forever. So just really find that divine balance of what you desire, but also knowing what is of true value, because we do need to care about the material reality on Earth while we're here, because we need food to survive. We need shelter. We need these things. We need earthly things in order to survive, and earthly things are divine. But also, when we're so consumed by getting more and more and more, like, I'm thinking about those people who like are so obsessed with their youth that they are investing all this money in these procedures to try to make them look younger, and they actually end up looking like monsters because they just have gone too far with their vanity. So just know that there's a balance. It's okay to get a little Botox here and there, sure, but don't don't botch yourself. You know, that's not really, don't mutilate yourself in seeking something that is elusive, that you can never have back, you know. So this card says, 666 says, I am centered. That is the main mantra of this card. And it says, It's a wake-up call for you to re-examine your current situation and change the direction of your thoughts so you can raise your vibration to a more positive frequency. So, seems like there's something in your life. I don't know if you had something in mind when you were clicking on this video, wanting to watch it, but it just seems like you're evolving, and those narratives that used to be true to you are just not honoring you at this point in time anymore. So change the direction of your thoughts. You're worth more than you maybe have previously given yourself credit for. You know, you have more life experience than you used to. So you need to fight for yourself a little bit more. And also it seems like maybe I'm seeing a relational thing too, like in certain relationships. I don't know, I don't know if you're seeing the other person's perspective that clearly. And again, that was like the main thing from our collective reading, is the advice was don't believe everything you see and hear, especially from other people. Like, because again, people are always changing, and we all are in this moment right now of, you know, are we in alignment? Are we not? And so some people can be more triggered, and so they can say things that they don't really mean. And of course, people need to be responsible for what they say, but also just remember that you don't need to take everyone's facts as truth. Like one person's fact of what's true does not have to be true for you. So just don't be blinded by other people's narratives either, or narratives that you have been leaning on in the past, because we're in a whole new era. Like globally, we're all in this whole new era. We're already kicking that off right now, but it's really going to kick off in the spring in just a few weeks. So just remember that now, again, no matter what time that you're listening to this reading, it really, it's a wake-up call. So get really clear on what you want to keep and what you want to get rid of, because you need to know your values before they're tested. You need to know your boundaries before they're tested. And now's a good time to really get clear on that. So when the time comes, you'll know when to say something and when to take action, and not floundering and not advocating enough for yourself or the people that matter to you. Okay. Last but not least, we have the King of Pentacles. I drew this card this morning as well for myself. And this is really interesting. There's like a bull in the background, which is associated with Taurus. So if you are a Taurus or have significant Taurus placements, this could be a confirmation message for you. But it's interesting to me because the Hierophant, which came up in the collective reading at the beginning, is associated with Taurus. And here we are also getting another Taurus message. And this is upright. The King of Pentacles is someone who can, is well-resourced, has, a lot of material, money, sure, but just material wealth of some kind. But then also knowing how to actually use it, because sometimes we have a lot of wealth that we don't even claim or use. So this is just reminding you that you have all of the resources you need, and not to be too stubborn, because Taurus can be a very stubborn sign about like, it's my way or the highway, and I'm the king here, so I'm going to make all the decisions and all that stuff. But this is reminding you that like, yes, you have a lot of wisdom, and sometimes that stubbornness is good, because if you know, you know. If you're right, you're right. Okay, whatever. But also, if you're so inflexible, then you don't have room to grow, and also people won't like you. Not that people liking you is like the most important thing. It's not, but a king needs a kingdom. And if the king's kingdom doesn't like him, they are more likely to overthrow him, and he is likely to suffer for that. So just really get clear on like what resources you have. Even if you feel like you don't have a lot of resources, you have something to share. I'm really feeling for you like you need to share more. And that can be your wisdom. That could be your advice. It doesn't have to be money. Although this is saying you have some sort of physical resource that can be shared. That can be, maybe you grow food in your garden. You can donate it to a food pantry. Maybe you have access to, I don't know why plants keep coming up, but like you are really good at growing saplings. Like you love to get the avocados from the grocery store and then, you know, grow the little avocado seed and then make it into a potted plant, like an avocado tree. And maybe you want to give that to someone who would really benefit from that, because you can do so many, like you make so many, you don't need all of them. So feel free to share. So again, these are just a few examples, but I'm really feeling a calling for you. It's like you need to really step up to contribute to your community in very physical and tangible ways. Maybe you call representatives to start, you know, advocating for what you believe in. If you don't like what you're seeing, you know, taking action of some kind, showing up. This is about you really showing up. And don't be scared. You're protected. You're this beautiful unicorn. You have your defense mechanism, that horn. You know, you're beautiful and majestic, but if someone wants to mess with you, you've got your horns. You've got your horn, you've got your thorns. So don't be afraid. And Mr. Frank here is supporting you in that. She arrived just in time to encourage you to use your power. You're very powerful. Get clear on that. Be centered in that and use it for the greatest good of yourself and your kingdom. Okay? So we're going to close out this reading with a good luck message from the good luck chicken here. So inside this good luck chicken are a bunch of random charms that I'm going to randomly select to see what your good luck message is for this time. And we have, this little pendant. It's like a necklace pendant. Oh, Mr. Frank. And it says love on one side, love. And then on the back, it says tickled. And I don't know if that's really picking up on the video because it's just so small, but love, that's your good luck. It's just to really see all the love that surrounds you and know that even if you feel so alone and you feel loved by no one, like there's going to be someone who's going to be sad if you were to leave or be gone. You know, you impact more people than you give yourself credit for. And people love you more than you think. We are all connected. We're all connected. So the love that we have for others, it has to be returned to us in some kind of way. You know, the earth loves us by providing food for us, you know, and we need to also offer that love most firstly to ourselves. And so this is really about filling your heart. Also, it is like a necklace pendant. So I am seeing that as something that hovers like over your heart. So remember that your heart is your good luck and your love for yourself is also your good luck, and recognizing your uniqueness. It's not bad to love yourself. I hate that in our society, a lot of people are like, oh, you're so full of yourself if you love yourself. It's like, no, you're supposed to love yourself. You should, because the more you love yourself, the more you can really love others too. And it's not about being selfish. It's about being pure and authentic to who you are. I love that on the back it also says tickled, and actually on it has like a little white rose. And so roses seem to be really significant for this group. Maybe you want to look up some rose symbolism. Maybe you want to get some roses for yourself to just keep in your home, to remind yourself how much you're loved by yourself and by others, sure. But tickled is also just telling me that, you know, your good luck is from having joyful moments. There's a lot of negativity that we're experiencing worldwide, and there's a lot of things that we witness that maybe we don't like or that hurt us. And just to remember that joy is resistance, and you feeling joyful and experiencing joy even when other people aren't is so powerful, and that will bring you more good luck, because just because someone else is suffering doesn't mean that you have to as well. You know, you can hold space for that, and you can be compassionate, and you can do what you can, again, to serve your kingdom. But at the end of the day, you also need to fill your cup, and your good luck is to feel that joy that you most definitely deserve. All right, my friends, thank you so much for joining me today. If you want more insights, feel free to look at my channel. Please like, share, and subscribe if you really like these videos. The more people that can see this, the more people can benefit from the messages that are being shared here. And if you want something more personal, a more personal reading with me, I do professional astrology, tarot, and psychic readings here in Denver, Colorado, or virtually. If you would like to have a reading with me, you can book with me through fortuneofthefool.com, and all of that info is going to be linked in the show notes. So please reach out, please comment, please make yourself known, because one of my most important goals is to community build. And right now I'm just talking to my phone. I'm just talking to a camera right now, and I would love to really feel and see how you are feeling about these messages. If you have additional messages that you're feeling that I didn't pick up on that would benefit the community, please share, please do, because again, we're all in this together. You have a unique voice that I don't have. I'm unique too. I have my own thing, but so do you. And so let's all work together to do what's best for the community. So thank you so much, pile number 1. See you again soon. Alrighty. And without further ado, we're going to start with pile number 2's reading. You are a pile number 2 if you picked this beautiful Lapiz Lazuli stone. And this has so much like sentimental meaning to me. I guess I'm not going to share why, but I just really love this crystal, but it's also smooth. Usually I like a rougher stone, kind of like this, because it's more tactile and things like that. But I was drawn to this stone today because it was more smooth, and because of the Mercury retrograde, this is a communication stone as well. Blue is associated with the throat chakra. So I just was like really wanting some smooth communication to come in, maybe through at least one of these piles. So that's why I chose this beautiful stone for you all today. And I would love to know also why you were drawn to this stone, if there was anything in particular with that. But I am seeing it being very important for this group to communicate authentically and truthfully, even if that comes at a cost of tact. Sometimes we're feeling really emotional about something. We're just so angry, and like, you just need to say it. Sometimes it's better to say something than keep it in. And the people who matter the most, they're going to understand. You don't want to lash out on anyone, but I'm just seeing this group as more of the group that's like, rather just not say anything, because you want to be this pristine communicator, like, oh, well, I really need to think through my emotions and process them first before communicating them. But it seems like maybe it's okay to just say things honestly when they come up. It's okay to have emotion in your communication, So also sometimes people really need to see that, like, no, enough's enough. Stop. Like, I'm not going to let you do that anymore. Please stop. Rather, they're more likely to listen to you when you're like that than if you were just like, hey, I'd really appreciate it if you weren't like that. Sometimes people really need that, like, honest, direct emotion, to get the message. Okay. So the Oracle of Pluto card that we got for you is the cub. It's a little bear cub. So cute, little bear cub. And I love that. There's also dragonflies in the imagery, and it looks like they're lilies, blooming lilies also in this. So when I'm thinking of like a bear cub, I think of the mama. I can't help but not think about the mama bear. This cub is, very cute and maybe adventurous and going off on his own. I'm thinking of like a human who stumbles upon a bear cub and it's like, oh my gosh, you're so cute. Like, I want to just hold you. And like the cub might be really playful, but just remember that the mama bear is probably not that far away. And if she sees you messing with her cub, she might go off. So I'm seeing you as both the cub. I'm seeing you as actually all three. Maybe you need to decide what you are, and maybe you're different things for different situations. But I'm seeing you as the bear cub, and I'm seeing you as the mama bear, and I'm seeing you as the human. Like, we can all be each of these things at once. So just know that like cubs sometimes need to be protected. Like cubs are like maybe really curious about the human, and so they want to approach them, but maybe they don't know that the human can hurt them. You know, most humans maybe not, but some humans are hunters and they will hurt the baby cub. You know, some people are sick. So but also maybe you're the human who just like is so entranced by this cute cub that you forget about the potential dangers. And then also sometimes you're this mama bear who like can't even see you know, anything but rage when like, oh, someone's messing with my cub. I don't know if that's a threat or not, but I'm just going to assume that it's a threat and I'm going to go for it. You know, those are the three kind of archetypes that I'm feeling for you at this time. And so just really know, when is it appropriate to be curious? It's okay to be curious, but also when is it appropriate to keep your defenses up and protect yourself or the people that you love. There's also dragonflies in here, and the dragonflies symbolize the dream worlds. And so I'm seeing for this group, it would be really advantageous for you to start paying attention to your dreams if you haven't already. Maybe you do, like if you don't already, you should dream journal. I think dream journaling is advantageous for everyone, but if you really can like wake up after dreaming, write it down or leave a voice memo for yourself, whatever, it's really important because I'm feeling an ancestral vibe here too. In fact, I am actually reading an ancestor book called Ancestral Dreaming, and so I feel like this is a very opportune time to kind of like tap into what your ancestors are trying to tell you at this time through your dreams. And that can help you be making the best decisions for where you're at right now. And also just use the wisdom of your ancestors to not make the same mistakes that they did and to have better lives than they did. Because it just seems like you're kind of in this transitionary period where yeah, you can really just heal generational wounds that might be haunting you without you even knowing it. Like these things that operate in the subconscious because, you know, our mothers went through that, or our fathers went through something, you know. So this is really about listening to your dreams and just seeing if there's any recurring themes or anything like that. To see if there's some sort of wisdom from your ancestors trying to come through at this point in time. And because it seems like you're the cub in this situation and they're like the mama bear cubs trying to come in through your dreams to protect you. But if you're not willing to listen, if that cub just keeps going to the human and like doesn't listen to mom, you know, the human might hurt the cub, you know. So if you even want to leave a comment, if you have any recurring animals that might be coming in your dream or like a recurring dream, feel free to type that in the comments because I'm always interested in dream interpretation, and that's something that I'm developing my skill in doing. So please share your dreams. Even talk to friends about your dreams. If you don't dream, figure out why and maybe try to access those. Like I know people who ingest a lot of marijuana, they are less likely to remember their dreams. So maybe you cut down on that so you can actually start listening, because your dream life, that's like such a big percentage of our lives here is our sleep life. We sleep like what, a third of our lives, and like don't miss out on a third of the wisdom that you could be getting by suppressing your dreams. Okay. Maybe certain medications you're on to, you know, and again, I'm not a doctor, so listen to your whatever, but, you could also maybe do some hypnosis or something if you can't access the dream world. But I'm feeling for this group, especially, that it's really important to look at your shadows. It's really important to look in your subconscious for things that are trying to get your attention, because, it's better to, I'm feeling that wake up call energy of like, let's get you prepared just in case or something. I don't know. I think it'll be different for everyone, but just take that seriously. Take your dreams seriously and take your subconscious messaging seriously. And if you have access to a hypnosis specialist or a dream or a past life regression person, this could be a really good time to dive into that. Okay. Next, oh my gosh, the angel number you have is 0. I am limitless. And if you know me, 0 is one of my favorite numbers because, in cards anyway, because it represents the Fool in the tarot. And the Fool, I mean, you're on a channel called Fortune of the Fool. I mean, obviously I have a very close connection to the Fool. And, you know, the Fool is limitless because they are on the journey. They're willing to take the leap of faith to go towards their destiny, whatever that may be. And they are not afraid of moving forward because they don't know what's on the other side. They're eager and they're excited to continue forward because they don't know. The unknowing doesn't have to be full of fear. So this card says, there's no beginning and no end. All is infinite. It is time to develop your spiritual side. You are gaining new sight and understanding of both godly and earthly things. And that is so Pisces versus Virgo. Virgo being that earthly and Pisces being godly. So, not that all, you know, anyway, just that's, Pisces aren't like godly, even though I'm a Pisces and like, I need to stop. But no, Pisces being godly in the sense of very spiritual, you know, and also God can be the one who, you know, blesses all of us with the Garden of Eden, but God can also banish us from that Garden of Eden and also drown all of us in a flood or something. I don't know a lot about Christian God, but that's one version. You know, gods don't always just do good things. Gods can also do things that are less pleasant. But anyway, this is just reminding you, like, and I think that goes back to the beginning message. It's like, there's something really spiritual that's pulling, like a tether that's really pulling you to like understand more, whether that's like getting in touch with your ancestors, or something. But you need to have some sort of daily ritual or practice where you engage in something. Like, even if it's one card pull a day, you want to read cards for yourself. Even if you don't know how to read cards, you can like pull one and see how does it make you feel. Cub, like I've used this deck once, and like cubs, I'm just thinking about like, okay, what do I know about bear cubs? It doesn't have to be crazy deep. Like, I don't need to know all of the facts about cubs. Also, Cubs, maybe you're a big sports fan and you're like, oh, I love the Cubs. Like, this reminds me of my dad. And like, this card is my dad speaking to me from the grave or whatever. You know, it could be literally anything. So this is about really trusting your intuition more and knowing that you're limitless and that you can seek a lot of spiritual insights, not from other people, but from yourself. So, I mean, yeah, other people can definitely help too to bounce things off of, but also just know that you can find God within yourself in this earth realm. Ooh, and the last card we have is the Ace of Swords, again with the communication, and it has all these beautiful white roses, and white roses are also symbolized or also associated with the Fool. The Fool is someone who holds a white rose. It's a sense of purity. It's a symbol of purity. So it just seems like at this time, it's you're planting new seeds with how you're thinking about things and the communication that you have, because a lot of us are, you know, taught that communication can only be verbally, you know, between humans or people who speak the same language. But also we can communicate without knowing the same language. Like, I communicate with my kitty cat Frank through telepathy. I don't know, we just vibe. Like, we can communicate, and I don't always use English. Like, I do speak to Frank with English a lot of the time, but also I don't always have to. My friend David was teaching me that you can communicate with animals. Like, the easiest way to do it is through images rather than words. So like, if I was wanting to tell Frank, hey, I'm gonna leave, or like, no, I want to use this example. If I'm going to bed, I'll tell Frank like, oh, I'm going to bed, but then in my head I'll send her like this image of like me like walking to bed, laying down and getting all cozied up, and then her following behind and getting in bed where I want her to be in the bed, and she'll come like soon after, because she has her mind of her own. She needs to do it on her own terms, but she knows. And like, same when I leave the house, it's like, okay, I'm leaving, and I just imagine I send to her these images of like, hey, I'm leaving the house, I'm gonna be gone, but then I'm gonna come back, you know. So literally sending those images to her is a way that she can understand in a way that I don't need to use English or my words to communicate. And that's what I'm feeling for you, is like you're in this stage right now of learning new ways of communication. And you know that like if you're really close with someone, I don't know, like siblings, a lot of the time they can like just give a glance and they know everything that that person wanted to say, you know. So just know that there's more forms of communication than just the voice. And there's body language, and also you can communicate with more beings than you even know. Again, even after people pass away, you can still communicate with them somehow, either through prayer, through a medium, anything like that. And this is just saying that you're ready for this new journey of like, you're not crazy for having these communications with beings or things that you've never thought you could communicate with before. It's very powerful. This is exciting. This is opening a whole new world for you. So just remember, as you're on this journey, to be mindful of that inner cub in you. It's like protect yourself too, because especially if you're going to be doing spiritual work, you need to protect yourself. You need to make sure that you're not just like getting a Ouija board out and communicating with any spirit that wants to talk to you. You want to be like very much like, okay, spirit, ancestors, benevolent ancestors too, because some ancestors are not, they don't have your highest good in mind. So just remember, like, you only want the spirits that have your highest good in mind and the highest good of all in mind to communicate with, and protect yourself from anyone else who might be wanting to interfere with those communications. And one more message for this card is Archangel Michael might be a really great ally for you at this time. Archangel Michael is an angel of protection. He's the one who wields the sword, and you have the sword here. So if you just want some additional spiritual protection, just call upon Archangel Michael to protect you. And maybe you do some research into Archangel Michael. Like the simplest thing that I ask him to do is I do a visualize. I call in Archangel Michael, and I visualize him taking his sword and just like clearing any tethers that I might have to anything around my body that is not for my highest good. And that will just be a quick little cleansing that you can just do in your pretty little head. So those are the card messages I have for you. And we're going to end this reading with a good luck message from the Good Luck Chicken. In this Good Luck Chicken, we've got a bunch of good luck charms, and we're going to randomly pick one to see what good luck message Spirit has for you at this time. What is this? Ooh, it's a shark. Let me show you. Here is this shark. Ooh, I'm like, how do I, here. That's a better way for you to see it. It's so small. So small. The shark. It's really cute. I've never drawn this out of the Good Luck Charm basket before. And I have complicated feelings about sharks because I actually really like sharks. There's this song... There's this song in the Legally Blonde musical called Blood in the Water, and it's about lawyers. You know, in order to be a lawyer, you have to be a shark, and you've got to get what you want, and you have to be assertive, and like if you want to win, you sometimes have to be this bad guy. You know? And so like that, I think is like, I love the song. It's a great song. I love that. But the message to me, I resonate a little less with, because it's like, well, I don't think we should all be a shark when maybe that's not morally sound, but some people don't feel that way. But, I also really like sharks because of the messages. Like it's a protective. It's so like sharks are some of the oldest organisms that are still around on this earth that were also in prehistoric times. So I just see this as like more ancestral energy too, of like, you know, you have this innate survival within you. Use it. That is your good luck, is like your survival mode. And it's kind of coming back to that mama bear message that we were getting earlier about like, sometimes you don't need to know all the facts and you just need to attack because that's your survival. And I think that is your good luck. So don't be afraid to use that primal energy within you to do what you need to do and take the action that you need to take. Also, sharks live in the water, and water is connected to our emotions and the way we feel about things. So I do think that your good luck is going to come from trusting the way you feel. If you're feeling angry, you should be angry, and you can express that. You know, you don't want to lash out on people inappropriately, but sometimes you do need to lash out on people who deserve it. Maybe you should. If you're sad, like, trust that, you know, this is just about flowing. I'm really seeing this shark as like, flow with what you're being guided towards, and flow with your emotions rather than against them, because the body does keep the score. And if you try to suppress your emotions, they're going somewhere. So yes, those are the messages that I have for you, pile number 2s. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you did like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Your support means everything. And also, if you had additional messages that you wanted to share, please leave a comment. I'm really wanting to build this community here and getting to know you all. So please feel free to connect by sharing any insights or anything that you felt you wanted to share. Let me know what pile you chose, what resonated with you, what didn't. And if you do want more personalized readings, I do personal readings, astrology, tarot, psychic, mediumship readings here in Denver, Colorado. You can book with me in person, which is what I absolutely recommend. But also, if you're not in the Denver area, I do virtual readings as well, and you can book with me on my website, fortuneofthefool.com, and that is linked in the show notes. So thank you again so much for joining me today. I hope you have a marvelous day, a marvelous week, marvelous life, and I hope to see you soon. Stay foolish. Mwah!